What is up, ladies? Leon Trotsky here, bringing some more Battlefield 3 content, and today, you ever had that time you want to talk about a bunch of different things, and then you're like, oh, well, we'll try and narrow it down to one, but we'll try and mention a couple of, this gameplay. First of all, when you record gameplay, you have a tendency to, go back and you watch your gameplay, and then you, realize, and you see other things, and you want to comment on them, and then you realize that the gameplay is 15 minutes, most people don't want to watch 15-minute loads, so you try and cut some of it out, and now we're down to 11 minutes and 45 seconds, and we'll try and mention everything that we see in the gameplay. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, this is kind of going to be an overarching theme in some of my videos coming up, probably. We'll see, because this is one of the things that I've been paying a little more attention to, especially when I've been playing other games such as Counter-Strike Go, because it's become so much more important and so much more apparent, and what I'm talking about is controlling your engagement. And there's many different ways to control your engagement, and depends on obviously what game you're playing and what there is to at hand. The biggest thing to point out is obviously using cover. Using cover effectively, moving in and out of cover, moving between cover, and then on the opposite note of that is knowing which cover to be in at the right time. Obviously, to be able to anticipate where the enemy is going to be moving to and from, being able to pick people off in transition, and being able to just know which cover spot and being able to anticipate where to look is going to help you out the majority of the time. And all this obviously comes with experience and seeing, hey, that guy killed me in that spot, that looks really good because I'm having a hard time killing him. Maybe next time when I'm attacking or defending there, I should go to that spot and use that spot instead because, hey, it worked for him, it can work for me too. So it's just one of those things that it comes over time, and you just have to practice learning and controlling your engagements. And sometimes people can get very carried away when they play any first-person shooter, and they get that tendency to, I gotta rush. But there is something to camping, and there is something to holding down a spot strategically. And I know the big motto of PTFO, but sometimes, you can play the fucking objective slowly. You don't have to rush in like a freaking maniac with your guns blazing just to play the objective. The objective's still there. Obviously, there's certain objectives and certain times that you need to understand the immediacy of getting to the objective. And I will cover that in a further commentary, because that is another commentary I really want to do, is talking about how to and what is playing the fucking objective, and how do you do it? How do you organize and understand what objective needs to be played more importantly than the others? But when you control your engagement, especially in Battlefield 3, the assault class. Let's talk assault class, guys, because this is the main ground and pound soldier engagement you're going to find, especially in a lot of the infantry maps. Obviously, there is importance in understanding, when you're tanking, how to control your tank and engage other tanks by using cover and stuff like that. But the majority of understanding, when you say control your engagement, you understand it's going to be usually infantry gameplay. That's, obviously, cool thing about Battlefield, there's vehicles. But when you understand the assault kit, there's a reason that everybody uses the med pack. Might I point out, a 3-piece with a G18. There's a reason everybody uses the med pack, and the majority of the reason is it heals you. Now, what I've started doing actually is putting the med pack down before I'm gonna anticipate enemies. Say I'm gonna be coming around a corner, I know there's gonna be maybe a couple enemies around that corner, I'll throw a med pack down at that corner and then go around, and then so that way I can work the corner, use the cover, and have the med pack down, and don't have to go back and throw the med pack down. When it comes down to it, especially when it gets down to competitive play, when you're playing against people that know what they're doing, every movement makes a difference. And this may seem stupid, but the half second that it takes to throw out a med pack while you should have been reloading is going to save you life and death when the guy's jumping around the corner with an F2000 or AEK. And those are the things you have to understand and anticipate based on the lobby that you're in, based on who you're playing with, and just knowing the flow of the game. You should be able to know if you're playing Op Metro and there's not too many people pushing one way, that, hey, maybe they're flanking and pushing back rage or got through and pushing the third flag. That's one of those things that you have to understand and have to be able to anticipate. This anticipation and knowledge of the game comes over time, and that's why, although rank, Colonel 100s, it's really just how much you play the game. But when you play the game for a lot, you do understand the intricacies of the game. You do notice certain patterns and certain things that keep happening and certain ways to, certain spots, like I said over and over again, to control your engagement. You'll see me sometimes, a lot of times, when we play Metro Conquest, I'll be sitting there and my first instinct now is there's 5 guys facing one way. I'm going to turn and face the other way because they're all looking one way. I don't want to get ran up on anymore. And it's one of those things that comes over time, and there's got to be somebody in your squad that does it. You have to, there's controlling your engagement as a single individual, there's controlling your engagement as the squad tactic, controlling your engagement as the team, not pushing the 3 flag, controlling the game. That's what it's really all about, and you'll become a lot more successful once you learn how to anticipate. I think as much as I want to say control the engagement, it's really, yeah, you have to be able to control the engagement and what you're doing, but being able to anticipate where the enemy is going to be, that's what's important. Like this, we had them 3-capped here. I knew they were still at Bravo. So I spawned Bravo, spawn behind them, call them out, we end up taking them down. It's one of those things that you come with over time. You start learning, oh, wait, look, this is a great example. They're taking Charlie, we have them 3-capped. No, I'm not going to push straight onto Charlie. I'm going to watch the cutoff. This is a great example of being able to control your engagement. I know that the majority of my team is just rushing straight down the main hallway to Charlie flag. What I'm going to do is watch the cutoff. I'm going to be able to call out any fast movers that go left. I'm going to be able to call out anybody that's cutting us off. Because I've already realized that this team knows the flanking routes, knows the side routes, and they realize that they can get around us that way. And when there's nobody on my team over there, is something that you have to be able to understand and realize where your team is stacked up on. Move away from them, maybe, you know, control the entire map. Don't be the kill horde. Play the objective is playing the win. That is the all-time ultimate objective, is to win the game. And if it's gonna, you know, cost you a couple extra kills here and there, you're not gonna get the MVP ribbon because you didn't, you know, revive somebody that didn't need to be revived, or you were watching a flank that didn't get that much traffic. That's okay, because the #1 objective when you're playing any game, when you're playing life, to win. You want to do good, you want to be successful. And understanding how to control your engagements and understanding how to anticipate patterns in what you see is going to be able to be much more successful in Battlefield, in Call of Duty, Counter-Strike Go, in life. If you're able to anticipate what's going to be coming towards you, you'll be able to better react to something like that. And it's, you know, action creates a reaction, and if you create a good reaction to something, you'll be in the money. So that's a little life lesson there. Controlling the engagement. Oh yeah, today's Friday. I really wanted to mention this at the beginning of this video. It's totally like at the middle end of the video, but PTFOHQ, just random. I'll mention it again at the end as we continue this commentary. Once again, just watch the side flank. Watch the side flank. Like, this time it doesn't work out, and I ended up calling out, and we ended up getting put down. And I cut out some stuff here, but I did want to show they had destroyed our LAV in the spawn, and I think we're playing on my server, and this was tentative to kick out. As I said, controlling your engagement and knowing how and when to PTFO. This is kind of a weird circumstance, and I'm showing you this spawn screen for a reason. I know that they have an LAV pushing. I believe it's pushing on Alpha at this point. However, we don't have our LAV up yet in our base, and I know that a couple of my team members are pushing in from Charlie, I believe, Charlie to Bravo right now. And what I'm trying to do is decide whether I'm going to wait and spawn at the LAV or whether I'm going to support my team pushing Bravo. And I'm waiting until the last second, and then finally I realize that, hey, the LAV might not spawn in time. Let's give them some support pushing Bravo. And it's one of those decisions that you have to make going along as the game goes along. You know, when you're playing big map Conquest, Firestorm, Caspian Card, do you go back to the base and get the tank, or do you spawn on somebody at a flag to try and help them cap it? It's one of those things that communication, anticipation, experience helps you make that decision. Was it the right decision? Was it the wrong decision? I don't know. You know, it helped my team out a little bit here. We didn't capture Bravo. I ended up getting put back down here in a second. And then we go back and get the LAV and get Alpha back. So it's one of those things that, like, yeah, it helped out a little bit because we ended up getting Bravo back, and that's really what was the goal here, is to get Bravo back, because I like the AB cap. I don't want to do the AC cap on Bazaar, but that's a whole other story. Two caps versus all caps. It's tough. Let the game play. Let the game play. If it happens, there's certain maps that it's more advantageous to hold a 2-cap or a, you know, not all cap the team out. But there's certain maps that it's just, like this map, if you can all cap a team out, do it. Because in all reality, you have to. It's just that much safer for the win. Obviously, you know, strategic-wise, blah, 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 blah. But no, if you hold them at the base flag, it's really easy for them to flank out of this. So, you know, you do what you got to do. I get back in the LAV and I hold them down like a boss. Gameplay is kind of winding down. We obviously just kind of kill them off with LAV. I push into their base, and we hold off for the win. I hope you guys have enjoyed this gameplay. As I kind of mentioned before, we will be continuously doing this community night on my server. As long as I'm being around, I'm usually once again trying to put up a video right about when I'm going up. I try and mention it out through the week. PTFOHQ is, you can search for my server. We'll be playing on my server, probably Russian Conquest still. We might be jumping around to some other servers too. Just check for me on my server. You can look for my gamer card there. You can, you know, see which server I'm on from there, and join my session if need be. Obviously, some of the Team Anarchy guys are doing some community night stuff too, and I've enjoyed playing with those guys. So hopefully we'll get some of them on my server. We'll jump on some of their server, and we'll get the whole community playing together. If we are on my server, however, I'm going to be trying to emphasize using Team VoIP because I like talking to people I don't normally talk to, and I hope you guys enjoy chatting it up with me if you guys don't normally get a chance to. So that's how we do on the battlefield. Like always, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If there's any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. And I will see you on the battlefield soon. PTFO like a boss. More Counter-Strike coming soon. More Battlefield coming soon. I got some updates. I got a new series kind of thing I want to run through you guys. So stay tuned for that. Some big stuff coming next week. I hope you guys have enjoyed. PTFOing like a boss. See you on the battlefield soon. Till next time, ladies. You know how we do.